Today, guys, I got something super exciting to tell you. I just did a deal, guys, and it took me a couple hours to do, barely any time, and I made 10K. So what I want to do is show you guys how I made the 10K. And not only that, guys, I was watching a video by Jerry Norton. Okay, shout out to my man, Jerry Norton. But he was with Pace Morby, and they asked this question. They said, what would you do if you were dropped in the middle of nowhere and you had to get your first deal and you had no money? Like little to no money. All right, let's do that scenario. So I wanted to talk about that, guys. What would you do if you were dropped in the middle of nowhere? You have a cell phone, maybe let's say you got $200, okay, and you got to get a deal. You got 30 days to get a deal. What are you going to do? Well, that's what I'm going to do today, guys. Is I'm going to show you what I would do to get my first deal. And I'm going to tell you what Jerry said. But guys, I'm going to tie this into how I just made 10K, okay? I made 10K in about 7 days, took about 5 hours of my time. I didn't have to struggle with negotiating with sellers and, call a bunch of people, get ghosted. There's a better way to do this, okay? Go to investorthrive.com right now to check out some of our free training on how you can make money as a real estate investor, or schedule a time with me so we can chat about our mastermind mentorship and how we can help you learn how to wholesale nationwide and grow your business. All right, guys, so let's rerun the scenario. I just made 10K, took minimal effort, minimal time, zero marketing dollars. I didn't have to spend any money. And again, I call this the painless wholesaling method. All right, because wholesaling sometimes can be painful if you don't do it the way Real Estate Nate does it. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So Jerry Norton, again, that last video he just did, Pace and him were talking. Pace Morby said, basically, don't quote me for this, but he basically said, Jerry, what would you do if you got dropped off in an area with you're just a cell phone, little to no money? In their scenario, they said no money, but my scenario, I'm saying $200, okay? Because you need something. Well, actually, you don't need anything, but in the scenario, we're going to say $200. So you get dropped off in the middle of nowhere. You need to get a deal in 30 days. You got to get a deal in 30 days or some bad's going to happen to your family, okay? You got to get it done, all right? And that's a scenario that maybe a lot of you people are in. The market's shifting. You probably need to make some money.
We need to make some money.
So like I said, I just made 10K, very simple. It wasn't hard using the painless wholesaling method. So let's dive into this scenario. In this scenario that Pace Morby and Jerry Norton said, they said Alaska. They were like, if you get dropped in Alaska, what would you do? Now, this is Jerry Norton's. This is what Jerry Norton said. He said, if you go to Redfin, there's a strategy where you can type in fixer upper and you can, start getting email notifications of fixer uppers that come onto the market. Okay. So that's good. I think that's a good strategy, but no hate on Jerry. If he watches this, I don't want him to think I'm calling him out. I don't think that's the first step you need to do when you're trying to find a deal. Number one, because you don't know what people are buying in Alaska. You have no idea. You don't know if people want multifamily. You don't know if there's even investors in the area. You just don't know. So if you're going to do that, that's a complete waste of your time. You're just going to start calling agents, making offers. You don't even know what people want. And that's the whole thing behind the painless wholesaling method is you guys are all going out there, and I did it too. You guys are trying to lock up deals. You don't even know if people want them. You might not even know what buyers are buying right now. Right now, the market shifted. How many buyers are actually buying and what percent are they buying at? And are they ready to pull the trigger right now? That's how I'm making money right now. I have the greatest relationships with my buyers. I can call them right now and I can ask them, hey, what area do you want? What are you looking for? I'm going to go find it for you. And I'm going to show you why that's the first step. If you're dropped off in an area, you do not want to just start making random offers guessing that you have a deal. You got to find out what people want and then you got to go find it. That's the fastest way and the best way to do it. Now, there's about 10, 12 different strategies to finding buyers, okay? But I'm going to show you in this scenario what batch leads can do for you. So let's say you got $200. Go get batch leads, and I'm going to show you in Alaska how batch leads can help you find a buyer. And let's see if I can find a buyer out there. Okay, let's do it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to property search. Okay, let's go and see what's going on in Alaska. And let's just say it's Anchorage, Alaska. So let's try and find Anchorage. There it is. Okay. So guys, looking at just batch leads right now, this is what's sold, and what's for sale. So let's go here and let's do some filtering to see what buyers are in the area, the cash buyers, because that's who's going to pay you the fastest. So we're going to go to cash buyers. Owner type, all, cash, any, okay. A purchase date. Look, I don't know how much information they have in Alaska. Let's see how much they got for the last 12 months. Okay, purchase amount, don't really care. Number of properties owned, don't care. Exclude properties where the mailing address are the same. Yeah, let's do that because that's usually if someone pays cash and they have the same mailing address and the property address, they usually live there. They just happen to pay cash. Okay, let's see how many we got. Wow, no way, 2,023 cash sales within the last year. That sounds crazy. That sounds like a lot. When you do cash buyer, you usually can see properties that have been flipped. Anchorage has got some ish going on. Okay. This is a house that's been flipped. It looks like they did a good job, but it looks like it's lived in. So, okay, this is the next thing. Now that you've done this process, everybody, you've seen, okay, what properties have been cash buyers have bought and flipped. All right. So, what you do is you call the real estate agent that has represented this. So, I'm going to call the agent and say, act like I just got dropped off in Alaska in this scenario. Okay. That one looks newer. Let's check it out. Let's call that agent right now. Michelle Webb. All right, Michelle. Ooh, she's gonna answer. She stays by that phone, locked in. She's trying to get that listing. Let's go.
This is Michelle.
We got her. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? My name's Nathan, and I just was calling you because I see that you're an agent in the Anchorage, Alaska area.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have a couple minutes that we could chat, or are you busy?
What are you calling regarding?
I'm an investor and I'm looking to do some flips in the Anchorage area. So I was just wondering if, I could chat with you about the area just because I'm looking.
Sure. Are you from Anchorage?
I'm not. I'm actually from Utah, but I'm pretty interested in the market out there. And, I just, like I said, I just wanted to kind of pick someone's brain out there.
We don't really have a flip market in Alaska. Our market is super tight.
Really?
We don't really have a range that is affordable for flipping.
Oh.
And our housing market the inventory is very low.
Okay.
And so kind of regardless of condition, they go very fast.
Really? Okay. So, because sometimes this is what I do. I mainly work in Utah, but I'm kind of trying to expand out. So I market to areas to home sellers, and then I ask them, see if I try, I can buy their property. But you're saying out there in Anchorage, you don't really need to even rehab a property. You just need to get one at somewhat of a good deal, and then you can sell it.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's no flipped market here.
Well, that's great news because I was
very few foreclosures. We just don't have that kind of market here.
Okay. Well, it sounds like to me from our short conversation, if I find a property, through my marketing, whether I send out mailers or just start calling some people that have like a lot of equity in their property, if I find something, then I can just maybe get it at a discount and resell it.
No, there's no discount. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's no discount to be purchased. There are multiple offers on all properties.
Oh, I'm referring to like if I specifically market to sellers, like not that aren't listed. Like if I, send out some mailers saying I want to buy some properties in Alaska to people directly.
Yeah, that would be very, very tough. I don't know anyone successfully doing that, but I guess good luck to you. It's just that's just not the kind of market we have here.
Well, I really appreciate that advice because I was going to start marketing and looking for properties, but it sounds like it's pretty tight market up there from what you're saying. Well, hey, if I ever have anything that I buy and I need to, I do get from a seller off market and I want to list it, would you be able to help me out and be an agent I work with?
Yeah,
Okay.
let me know if I can help you.
Is there any other advice you can give me when it comes to that market and, trying to flip properties or, buy properties at somewhat of a discount and sell them later?
Yeah, I don't know that I have much advice other than, I haven't seen anyone do it successfully here in Anchorage. It's not like where we have a huge bit of inventory like you would in a big metropolitan city. It's just not that kind of thing. And there are some private investors that do buy homes that are in rough shape and flip them.
Okay.
Those are few and far between, and typically they're working directly with a bank. And they ever hit the private market.
Do you by chance, like if I brought a property that I got a distressed property and I didn't want to buy it, do you by chance have relationships with those investors that maybe I could wholesale one to or sell one to that you could connect me with?
Yeah, possibly.
Okay. Is there a big rental market there too, or is that not a thing either?
No, we have a healthy rental market. Yep.
Okay, healthy rental market. Okay, well, this is what I do. I'm gonna start marketing out there. I'm gonna maybe start texting or reaching out to some sellers that are on some of my lists. And if I find something, if it's not the right fit for me, I'll call you and maybe you can connect me to one of those investors out there that likes to flip because I don't want to start flipping out there from what you've told me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, hey, I really appreciate your time. Sorry, I know this is a weird call. My phone number's from Georgia, but I invest all over the United States. So I was just looking at Anchorage because it looked interesting. My wife likes it up. She loves it up there. So
yeah, it's a cool place.
Okay. All right, Michelle. Well, I appreciate your time and thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
So what we've learned is that the Anchorage market is not a lot of inventory. Pretty much anything that hits the market will go. So this market shift apparently, from what she said, hasn't really affected Anchorage. I mean, there seems to be some good properties that go on. There are a couple of investors. So the good thing about me not just starting to make offers on properties already is the fact that maybe I would have just wasted my time. But now I know from talking to her that she has a couple investors. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. This is why it's important to call someone and have relationships first. Is now that I'm in Anchorage, what do you think I'm going to do? Okay. I'm going to look for a property, and I'm going to show you one way to do it. You look for a property, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to call her once I get under contract and say, hey, look, I ran the comps. This is not something that I want to buy. Can you connect me to one of your investors like we just talked about? Now, she will tell me, Nate, you got a deal. Let's freaking do it. I'm trying to make some money. Or she will say, Nate, you do not have a deal. Go back to work. So now I have a point of contact. I don't have to guess what a deal is in Anchorage, Alaska. I can go to my girl, Michelle. She's going to help me out. Let's take this a step further. I could have asked some better questions. I could have said, what part of Anchorage is the best? Like what neighborhood? Or I could have said 3-2s. Do people want 3-2s there? Do they want, like, what are they specifically wanting? And then what I would have done is I would have gone back and specifically marketed to that. So if she said, you know what, Nate, this is the best area to get deals in Anchorage, Alaska. Abbott Loop is fire. If you can get a deal in Abbott Loop, it's gone in seconds. People will even overpay. Let's say that now you're in Abbott Loop, you're in Anchorage, and she's like, yo, Nate, if you can get a deal in Abbott Loop, it's fire. Okay. So what I'm going to do, yeah, Anchorage is pretty nice. I'm going to virtually drive for dollars now. I'm going to look for properties that look somewhat distressed in this area. And I might have picked the wrong neighborhood. I'm in Abbott Loop. I think I spoke too soon, everybody. Hold on. I was going to say maybe there's not anything crappy in Abbott Loop. Whoa, look at that. That's completely different than the whole neighborhood. This is the old man holding out. He's like, I ain't selling.
I'm not selling my house.
You can pry this house out of my hands. I ain't my cold dead hands. That thing is a piece. So what do you think of the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to add this to my list of, I'm gonna actually create a new list. We're going to call it Anchorage Drive D4D. And we're going to go to, where are we at? Driving for dollars. So we're going to save that. This is just a demo. I'm actually not going to try and invest in Anchorage because I'm not dropped off in there, but that would be a property that we would do. Okay. And then what I would do next is I would skip trace it and I would call it, I would text it, I would email. And I know specifically, like, this is the hot area. I know Michelle, if I get it at a good deal, she's going to link me up with a buyer. I didn't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to, text, cold call, skip trace a bunch of lists. That is a way to do it on a budget. And if you have little to no money, okay. And guys, let me tell you why I use batch leads. It's because, like I've showed you before, driving for dollars is money. You can do campaigns, you can text and mail out of them all within the same platform. You can skip trace, you can pull lists. It's all pretty freaking easy to do within here. Okay. Dropped in Anchorage, Alaska. You go find Abbott Loop, the place that's been kind of hard for us to find. You can go to Boundary. You can say, hey, this is the dopest area in Alaska. Everybody wants a 3-2 here. So I got to find at least anything above a 3-2. And then you have all the different filters. You can apply it. So there you go. You select all, you take all these, you add it to the list, you skip trace it. And now instead of calling just random people, you know what buyers want. As soon as you find some, you call Michelle. She links you with a buyer. You got a deal in less than 30 days. Okay. Now let me tell you guys something. What I'm telling you, it's true. You think I'm BSing you. I'm not BSing you. Like, this is the way to do real estate. Even if you have a fat team, and you have tons of guys, obviously you need to produce a lot of leads, but this is the most efficient way. It's the most painless way. That's why we call it the painless wholesaling method. You talk to a couple cash buyers and you find out exactly what they want, and then you find what they want. Because if you open your marketing to this whole city, the chances of you getting a deal, sure, it's good, but it's going to take a lot more effort. It's going to take a lot more time. And you guys probably think, Nate, you don't know what you're talking about, bro. That's not the right way to do it. Whatever. If you don't want to do it that way, you don't have to. I work pretty much a couple hours a week in the real estate business doing deals, and that's how you do it. So if you don't believe me that this works, I'm going to prove you wrong right now. I'm telling you guys, hey, this is legit. This is real. Okay. So check this out. The painless wholesaling method is because of this right here. Right here. 10K. I made 10K in a couple hours last week. And if I was dropped off in Anchorage, I know I could do a deal in less than 30 days. Okay. Maybe we can do that. Maybe one day we can just say, Nate, do it. Okay. But I got a lot of things going on. I don't really want to prove that. I know I could do it though, because I would call the agents. I get tight with them. I'd find out what they want and I negotiate a deal with the seller. I'd find a deal. And if you guys are interested in how to find more deals than just using batch, there's tons more ways that are just as good, in my opinion. There we go. Let's get it, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Have a good one, everybody.